Hello, good afternoon to Sonone. Are you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The rest of people still not join the classroom, but we shall to continue with our previous sessions. And time being, they will be also join our meeting. Should I start?
Yes, sir.
Firstly, we cover the yesterday's topic, that is the mucoadhesive drug delivery system. 5 to 10 PPTs or present slides are remaining to explain to you. That is only the characterization part is there. So firstly, we will finish mucosal drug delivery system, and after that, we will move towards the modified drug delivery system or modified release drug delivery systems. That is your first chapter comes under the ADDS. Now we will move toward the last part of our presentation, that is the mucosal drug delivery systems. Okay, drug absorption. When we develop the mucoadhesive drug delivery systems or mucosal drug delivery systems, which types of the drug absorption mechanism will be takes place? And it is a common type, that is, it is a similar to that is a means whenever we administer the any other drug delivery, what types of the absorption will be takes place? Similar way, this rule is also applicable to the mucosal drug delivery system, like as the passive diffusions means which is a passive diffusion is a totally depending upon the concentration gradient. Means from higher concentration to lower concentration, the drug will get transported. Apart from this, the miss in mucosal drug delivery system, passive diffusion as well as the facilitated passive diffusion, mean and active transport and pinocytosis. These four mechanism is a possible whenever we develop the buccal mucoadhesive drug delivery systems or gastroretentive mucoadhesive drug delivery system, out of these four mechanisms, by any mechanism, there will be the absorption will takes place. After that, the main important point, that is the method of evaluation. Generally, for the means a standard mechanism, or we will call as a standard characterization test, is still not developed for the mucosal drug delivery systems. So no technology has still been developed specifically to analyze the mucoadhesion. But according to the perception of a scientist, they can develop the different instrument for the analysis of the mucoadhesion. So it is classified into two, that is in vitro test and in vivo methods. In vitro means outside the body. We have to analyze the swelling index, means in how much quantity or in how much amount it will get swellable, means your device will get swellable. Second one is the mucoadhesive strength. Third one is ex vitro residence time. And fourth one is in vitro drug release studies. Likewise, the whenever we go for the in vivo methods, that time we can use the radioisotopes. Second one, the gamma scintillography. Gamma scintillography is particularly utilized for to find out the exact location of our device or dosage form in our body when after its administration. And similar for similar analysis, along with the gamma scintillography, we can be use the X-ray studies also. Means by using X-ray study, we also find out the exact location of our device after its administration. The first one is the swelling index. And here we consider there are the number of formulation, mucosal formulation, like as the mucosal film, mucosal tablet, mucosal gel. But according to that different dosage form, the characterization is a somewhat different. Means swelling index, we can calculate it for the mucoadhesive film as well as the tablet also. So means according to the dosage form, certain parameter will be changes. So here we consider, here we said that we can develop the mucoadhesive tablet, and according to that we evaluate that formulation. So as this standard we consider as a tablet, and as per consideration of a tablet, we will discuss on its characterization. The first one is the swelling index. Initially, we have to take the 6 tablets, and which will be placed into the buffer solution, that will be having the pH near about the 6.8 in the petri dish, and it will be incubated for the 37 degree plus or minus 1 degree Celsius. Means we will just comply with the body weight, body temperature. After that, the tablet was removed at a different time interval. And it is this time interval is a totally depending upon whether you are developing sustained release or a control release formulation. In this case, I had developed the control release formulation, and I am expecting that that control release formulation should release the drug up to the 8 hours. Releases the drug up to the 8 hours. That's why I had make the intervals of half an hour. Means first interval is half hour, second is once, after once the second hour, third hour, fourth hour, fifth hour, 6 hour, 7th hour, 8 hour. Means approximately the frequency of a sample withdrawn is near about to 1 hour. After the sample withdrawn, that sample should be blotted with the filter paper. Means just we have to touch the filter paper in a such way that the extra water which is present on the surface or the surrounding of the tablet, it just get absorbed by the filter paper in a such a way that we can find out the exact swelling property or exact swelling index of that formulation. So then we will get the initial weight of a tablet, that is a W1, and final weight of a tablet, that is a W2. And whenever we put it this values into the equation, that is W2 minus W1 upon W1 into 100, we will got the swelling index. Second important or very important test whenever you will develop the mucoadhesive formulation, that is the mucoadhesive strength. For there will be the no standard equipment is developed for the finding out the mucoadhesive strength. So every scientist, according to their perception, can be developed the such a model. Whatever model you will find, or you will find on this presentation, is totally prepared by me. In this model, I have removed the one arm of analytical balance, and which is replaced by the one inhaler. And at the bottom of that inhaler, I have tied the mucosal layer of a ship buckle mucosal layer of a ship. And there is the one beaker which is a place at inverted position beneath the inhaler, and on that surface there will be the also gluted mucosal membrane of a ship. Means in a such a way that we have to place my prepared formulation, that is the tablet, in between that two buccal mucosa. Just I had make a sandwich of that tablet between these two mucosal membrane, and in another side span, that is in another arm, I will raises the weight in increasing order, like as the 100 mg, 500 mg, 1 gram, 2 gram, 3 grams, likewise that. And finally, I will record the readings whenever this tablet will get detached. This tablet will get detached from that mucosal membrane, and that weight should be noted. Means how much weight will be required for to detach the tablet from that mucosal layer, and put it that value into this formula, that is the force of adhesion is equal to the bioadhesive strength. That strength was measured in the gram and divided by 1000 into multiplied by 9.81. If we making calculation likewise, that time we will determine the force of adhesion in newtons. Force of adhesion in newtons. Basically, many formulator are reported this mucoadhesive strength in a gram, but I had converted this mucoadhesive strength into the force. Third one is the in vitro residence time. Means how much time tablet will get make their residence whenever it means we have to find out the residence time means whenever we will administer the tablet or put it the tablet at the site of administration, how much time it will get residence over there. This thing we have to find out, but in vitro we have to find out this thing. So there was the one scientist that is Nakumura et al. They had developed the one apparatus. Means actually they had not developed. They make a modification in a previously present apparatus. They use USP disintegration apparatus, and in this apparatus you will look like here is the one glass slides. On that glass slide there will be the one gluted buccal mucosa. On that buccal mucosa we will fix our tablet. And after that this whole assembly is put it into the disintegration apparatus, and there is the one shaft and paddle which will be rotated at the our regular RPM, that is a 50 with a 50 RPM. Means just maintain if we prepare the gastro-retentive mucoadhesive tablet for to attain the gastric motility, we will make the speed of that paddle, that is a 50 RPM. And after that we will measure the time, the how much time will be required for to detach the tablet from that gluted mucous membrane, and that time will be noted, and from that we can easily find out the for whatever time our tablet should be retained at the place. So conclusion, I am not write anything into the conclusion slide in this presentation, because if we are physically present over there, that time I will ask this question to you. So what is the conclusion of overall this presentation? What we learn from this overall presentation? The first thing we learn about what is meant by the mucoadhesion, what is the basic definition of bioadhesion, mucoadhesion, afterwards, what is the composition of mucus, afterwards, what is the first pass metabolism, and what is the rationale or why we are going for the development of a mucoadhesive formulation if the conventional formulation are present in the market, why we go for the mucoadhesive formulation. Is what is the rationale behind the development of such a formulation. Afterwards, I already discussed that is the first pass metabolism, how it is occur. After that, the various theories, which is explaining that by this mechanism, there will be the mucoadhesion. Various theories by this mechanism, there will be the mucoadhesion. There are the 6 to 7 theories are there. Afterwards, we are learn under this presentation that is the various mucoadhesive formulation, means solid, liquids, semi-solids, nasals, buccal. Afterward, the mechanism of absorption, and last one, that is the characterization of mucoadhesion. These all things we are covered under this presentation. And in previous lecture, I already told this articles or research articles which was published on the similar topic. This is the first, that is the design and vitro characterization of buccal tablet of timolol malate. I had prepared this tablet in year of 2012, and that article was published in 2014 in Drug Development and Industrial Pharmacy. I am explaining these things only because of whatever topic we have covered today, these articles are relating with them. That's why I am showing this. So this is published in Informa Healthcare USA. Second one in 2015 on similar drug, that is the timolol malate. Me and my team, that is my students, that is Amol Jadhav and Mangesh Chauhan. These are the third year students, along with our current principal, Dr. Saonge sir. We had prepared that is sublingual tablet of timolol malate, and that was published in the Bentham Science Journal of Netherlands. Afterwards, in 2012, firstly, I have make a review whenever at that time, I don't have the any idea about how to publish the research and review articles. I just gathered the information relating to the buccal drug delivery systems. And with the guidance of Dr. Gonkar and Dr. Darekar sir, I had prepared one article, and that article was published in Inventy Journal. This is my first article, my life first article. Afterwards, in 2018, in Amrutwaini, on this similar topic, we had think that we have to prepare means likewise buccal drug delivery. We have to need to prepare one review on sublingual drug delivery. That's why we prepare one review. A review of sublingual route is most promising choices than emergency. And there was my student, that is Monica Madibone. She was my MPharm students over there, and along with the Nikam sir, we gather the information and publish the articles again in same journal, that is Applied Clinical Research, Clinical Trials and Regulatory Affairs in Netherlands. Likewise, these are the references for this presentation. Jain sir, uh, thank you. I hope so you will understand this presentation. Any comment on this, or shall I go with the next topic, that is sustained release or modified release drug delivery system? Only the 7 candidates are present today, na? The Krishna or that students will not present. Saili, Sonone, Vijay Sri. Sonone, where is the rest of candidate?
Don't know, sir.
And before my lecture, there was a lecture of Dr. Kulkarni sir, na?
Yes, sir.
And how much students will be present there? Was present there?
8 to 10.
8 to 10. Okay. Are you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall I go for the next presentation?
Yes, sir. Continue.
Okay. Now there is the another topic in our syllabus, that is fundamental concept of modified drug release. In that definition of control release, sustained release, what is the prerequisites candidate for the control release or sustained release, and how the dose calculation we have to perform for the analysis of for the development of a formulation. These all parameters we have to miss. We will try to prepare in one presentation only. So we will start with that presentation. Okay, actually, slide presentation name is not a sustain and control release drug delivery system. Its name is the fundamentals of a modified drug delivery systems. So, firstly, I think most of people unaware about this sustain release or control release drug delivery system. So we will just try to make easier to everybody. The drug delivery system. Drug delivery system is a refer to the technology utilized to present the drug to the desired body site for drug release and absorption. Means we will make the drug delivery for what purpose? The main purpose is to means our main aim is to provide or to reach our drug at a specific site at a specific time. This is our moral responsibility to make available at a specific site and specific time. So there are the various novel technology will be utilized for to achieve this purpose. The newer discoveries and advancement in the technology has led to the various new techniques of delivering the drug for maximum patient compliance at minimum dose. dose and side effects. Now, what is the ideal drug delivery system? Means to which drug delivery system we will call as this is the ideal. The first, it should be deliver the drug at a rate dictated by the needs of a body over the period of the treatment. Means first criteria will be there, that is it should be released as the drug at particular rate which will be required by the body and at a particular site and for the prolonged time period. Why we are called as a prolonged time period? Means up to the treatment, means whenever the means for example we will treat the we will treat the hypertension, the up to that time period, means you will require the 1 month, 2 month, 1 day, 2 day, whatever the time period is required. Up to that, your drug should be released. Means uh, you will ask me that, sir, you will told that the one month or 2 months. Yes, whenever we will administer the intramuscular any drug delivery, like as the implants, that will be releases the drug up to 6 months. Means that intramuscular or implantable drug delivery comes under the controlled release or sustained release formulation. That's why I am saying that 1 month or 2 months is up to which the treatment will be continued. Second thing, it should be channel the active entity solely to the site of action. Means what? Means your drug should be reaches to the particularly site at the particular site wherever you will require its response. It's mandatory. So how can we achieve these two ideal properties or our requirement? So we can achieve this by developing a controlled release dosage form or time release dosage form or sustained release dosage form or a site specific or targeted drug delivery system. Means we can achieve our goal by preparing the dosage form according to these different categories. The first one is the sustained release drugs. 1 minute. There will be the certain problem. 1 minute. Is it visible to everybody? Sonone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No issue. Sustained release drug delivery systems. In that, any of the dosage form that maintains the therapeutic blood level or tissue level of a drug by continuous release of medication for a prolonged time period. It is a very simple definition. Means the release of a drug for prolonged time period in a such way that it will maintain the therapeutic drug level in blood or tissue for a continuous, for a sustained level. Means any of the dose, again I am telling this definition, any of dosage form that maintains the therapeutic blood or tissue level of a drug by continuously release, not intermittent release. Intermittent release means first hour it will be released as the 5 mg, second hour it will be released as the 10 mg, after 3 hours it will be released as the 15 mg. It is called as the intermittent release. Not likewise that continuously release means second to second, minute to minute, it will be releases the drug from that device after its single administration for prolonged time period. That time period is up to 24 hours. That time period will be up to 24 hours. If such a mechanism is there, that time, that system is called as the sustained release dosage form. The basic goal of this therapy is to achieve the steady state blood level. The basic goal is to achieve the steady state blood level. That is a therapeutically effective and non-toxic for extended period of time. Now, control release formulation means what? There is a very slight difference, my friend. There is very slight difference between the control release and a sustained release. In sustained release, we will continuously release the drug for a prolonged time period. But instead of control release, we will not continuously release the drug. Drug will be released at a predetermined rate. Predetermined means previously fixed. We will rate means rate. It is the pharmacological word. Rate means the speed. Means predetermined, previously fixed speed, previously fixed rate, and to a location means our location and our speed means the rate is previously fixed in the control release system, and according to the needs of the body it will be previously fixed, but according to the needs of the body and the disease state, which disease state is present and what is the need of a body. According to that, we will predetermine the rate, means at which speed we have to release the drug. We have to determine previously, and at what location we have to release the drug. These two things we will previously fix on which basis? On the needs of the body, on the disease condition of the body, and for what time period? For definite time period. Definite means fixed time period. Are you understand or not? It is means there will be the difference between the sustained release and control release. It is what? Sustained release for the prolonged time period, but continuously releases the drug. But in control release, not continuously releases the drug. Drug releases at a predetermined rate and predetermined time. Means the rate of a release of a drug, we will fix that. Means after 1 hour, we have to release the 3 mg, we have to fix that. After the 2 hours, we have to release the 5 mg, we have to fix that. Means by different mechanisms are there. By using a multiple coatings, we will optimize that. This coating will be ruptured at 1 hour. After that, this drug will get released. And second coating, we will make in such a matter that it will be break after the 2 hours, and that time drug will get released. So this is the predetermined. Means previously we will determine the rate, at how much rate we have to release the drug from that device. It is called as the control release formulation. I think you will somewhat it will be understand that what is the exact difference between the sustained release and control release. Control release is a perfectly follow the zero order. Control release is perfectly follow the zero order kinetics. Means it is independent upon the whatever concentration in present in that device. Means if you present if you place the 100 mg in that tablet, if you present 1 gram in that tablet, but the rate of release will not affected by the whatever the initial concentration of a drug in that formulation. It is totally depending upon a need of a body. According to the need of a body, we will utilize the various polymeric coating or polymeric matrices, and that on that basis your drug release will get controlled. Means it will be not depending upon the how much concentration of a drug is present in your device. There is the one graph. This first initial peak, that is growing upward and easily get downward direction. That is the conventional release. Means we will achieve after the immediate administration of a drug, we will immediately achieve the drug concentration and it will get just fall down. Second one is the sustained release. Means slowly but continuously drug releases will be there, and after some times it will be get decline. But zero order control release means at whenever it will be achieve the peak plasma concentration, up to that, after that there will be the releases the drug at a certain intervals but continuously. So it will be make the steady state concentration for prolonged period of a time. There are the certain merits and the demerits for this formulation. The merits. All right. We have the last 10 minutes for this presentation. There is the no issue uh, if we not covered this topic in this lectures only. At I think at evening we also having the one lectures 5:30 to I think 6 or 6:15. Instead of a 5:30, can we start that lecture at 5 p.m.? Anyone? Instead of 5:30, can we start that lecture at 5 p.m.? Means in that lecture we will finish that finish this topic. Shivani? Sonone?
Yes, sir.
Can we start that lecture at 5 p.m. instead of 5:30?
Yes, sir.
Because today we have the two lectures. We have to conduct the two lectures. And please at the evening, you will convey this message to the other students also, because this is the important topic. Because on these two to three topics, we have to conduct the assessment and sessional exam also. And that time it will be difficult to the another students if they don't attend this lecture. So please, you will convey this message to the other people also.
Okay, sir.
Okay. We have the nine minutes in our hand. Okay, we will try to cover at least merits and demerits. Merits: reduction in a dosing frequency. It is a very common thing when we develop the controlled release or a sustained release formulation as compared to the conventional release dosage form. Means, for example, if we develop the we will look for the conventional tablet of paracetamol 500 mg. We have to took the 3 tablets in a day, at morning, at afternoon, and at evening. Means because that is the conventional tablet. That is immediate release tablet. But instead of this conventional, if we prepare the control release or sustained release tablet, that time we have to administer the once tablet in a day. So the dosing frequency can be minimized. Second one is the enhance the patient convenience and compliance. Of course, instead of taking a 3 tablets, if the patient has to ask that instead of taking a 3 tablet, you have to take only this 1 tablet, and he is happy because it is a convenient for them for administration. They have only 1 tablet, he or she I have to administer once a daily. Third one is the reduction in adverse effects. Similarly, in the previous 2 points, if we reduces the dosing frequency, means what? If we reduces the dosing frequency, there will be the also reduction in the side effect, because the unnecessarily we will expose our body for the drug, and we can avoid a drug, and not only drug, the polymers will also provide the side effect. So we have to reduce that by decreasing the frequency of administration. So third one is the reduction in healthcare cost. Obviously, we reduces the dosing frequency. That's why we reduces the healthcare cost. Means instead of taking the 3 tablets, we have to take the 1 tablets only. but this point is somewhat difficult, because whenever we convert the conventional dosage form into the control release or sustained release, that time also the cost will get increases, because of we have to go for the number of operation, like as the enteric coating, matrix formations, and so many things is also depending on that. So the in case of a cost, there will be the sometimes cost will be rises as compared to the individual tablet of a conventional dosage form. But we will consider the 3 tablets of the conventional dosage form and 1 tablet for the sustained release or control release formulation. That time, definitely our cost will get saving over there. After that, they improve the efficiency of the treatment, reduces the nursing and hospitalization times. I think there will be the no need to elaborate this point. Maximum viability with the minimum dose. Yes, of course, there will be the maximum viability with the minimum dose, because instead of 3 tablets, we can just administer the 1 tablet and we will getting the maximum effect. So viability will be increases within the minimum dose. Reduction in the blood level fluctuation of drug, thus the better management of the disease. Demerits or disadvantage. Probability of dose dumping. This is the very major disadvantages for the sustained release or controlled release. Why? Dose dumping. Whenever we will prepare the sustained release or controlled release, means we will expected that at a certain interval, we will expecting that this much quantity of drug will be releases in the body. And we will predicted this for, in case of a sustained release, we will predicted this for the 24 hours, up to 24 hours sustained release, for sustained release. And for controlled release, near about to 8 to 12 hours, we have predicted that our drug releases will be follow this type of a pattern. But whatever your expectation after 12 hours, or whatever your expectation after 24 hours, and that things, if instead of a 24-hour, that things is happen only within 1 hour or only within half hour, that time it is a dangerous thing. Means whatever concentration you are expected after a 24-hour, if you are achieve this concentration within a half an hour or 2 hours, that time it is called as the dose dumping. Means maximum dose will get releases at that time, and it will create the side effects. And already I have discussed one point, that is the cost of single unit is higher than that of the conventional dosage form. If we consider the single unit of a conventional dosage form, that time it will be the higher cost. The next one is the requirement for the additional patient education for the proper medication. Yes, because control release or sustained release formulation don't having any disintegrating agent, because our expectation that our device should be intact up to the last. So if the any like as a conventional tablet, if the patient will not able to swallow the conventional tablet, we will just triturate that tablet and make it the solution and administer to that patient. But this practice is not suitable for the control release or a sustained release, because by using a various technology we will retard the drug release. Means by using the enteric coating or by using the matrix formation, we will retard the drug release. And if the patient will be crunch that tablet or chewed that tablet in the mouth cavity, and means there will be the no any use for that novelty, and there will be the dose dumping will be there. So patient counseling is most important in this. Also, there is a poor in vitro and in vivo correlation. Decrease the systemic availability in comparison to the immediate release conventional dosage form. Means whenever we administer the immediate release or conventional dosage form, immediately we will make available the all drug for the absorption. But these things is not happen in case of a sustained release or control. Remaining part we will cover in our evening session, that will be started sharp at 5 p.m. So everybody should be ready for that. And please convey this message to the another people, because only 5 to 6 people are attending this lecture, and it is not a good thing, because we will not call you as physically. We will call these all meetings on online mode. So it should be possible for the everybody to attend this meeting. So thank you very much, and please convey this message. I will put it this new meeting at in your WhatsApp group. So sharp, we will meet at sharp 5 p.m. Thank you very much.